Hey everyone, welcome to Sportsbet Daily at oddsmarket.com. We've got English Football League coming up with at DaveBets. Eastlake, where the Tour Championship finale takes place. Just up the road from Augusta. Will it be a big win for Justin Thomas last week? Course record 61 at Medina. And then we'll be off to Shanghai, where Dota 2 is taking place. And obviously we're talking esports. Then we're going to be talking to Adam. But first of all, let's speak to DaveBets. DaveBets, how are you after that weekend?
Hello, Flash. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How was your weekend?
Yeah, good weekend. A real good weekend. Even though my favourite fighter, DC, came up short, other than that, it's been a real profitable weekend. We went 7-1 in football across Friday and Saturday's games. And the live kegcast, fight cast that we hold every weekend did another successful run. And I think we're now 21 out of 23 fight casts are now in profit. So...
Well, myself and Nat both went down to support you. We posted the pictures. My first time of actually sitting and watching a whole UFC event. And I couldn't pick the winner in most of them during the fight. So God knows how you do it, like with weeks leading up to it. I mean, they were all so close and they twists and turns. It was thoroughly entertaining. And when I told someone it was my first time watching UFC, they actually thought I was looking them in the eye and lying. Listen, let's hope that your EFL tips are as good as your UFC. Where do you want to start, Dave?
Well, to be fair, the games are split between tonight and tomorrow. The fixtures that we're looking at tonight, I don't really like any of the games. Other than Sheffield Wednesday is probably the only lean I have in tonight's slate. So we may as well kick off with tomorrow's games and start with Fulham Millwall at Craven Cottage.
Yeah, before we go to Fulham Millwall, because I was actually at Sheffield Wednesday the last time they beat Luton, and that was in 1992, coming from 2-1 down to win 3-2. Now, S6 is bouncing at the moment, even though it has no manager. So I think Sheffield Wednesday, I mean, you tell me 1.95 was available. I think it's now 1.75, maybe 1.8 in a place for Sheffield Wednesday to beat Luton. I thoroughly expect the Owls to win this game. But again, they're just both leans. So let's go with something a little bit more concrete. Let's go down to Craven Cottage tomorrow night at home, Millwall. London derby, Dave.
Yeah, look, no one expected Millwall to come out like this and be, one of the top 6 or 7 teams that are at the top of the table. Wins at home is a whole different ball game to wins away. And everyone knows that playing at the Den is probably one of the hardest grounds to play at, no matter what division you're in. I think the ref had balls of steel to give a red card out to Millwall at the half, because I'm not surprised he didn't walk out of that game with a 2p piece or a 50p piece engraved in the side of his head. The Den is a tough place to play at, but tomorrow, Millwall, they're not at the Den. They're at Craven Cottage. They're playing probably the best team in the league, if not one of the top 3 best teams in the league. I tipped this team to finish in the top 6 at just under evens. They had a rocky introduction with the loss to, was it Barnsley? But Mitrovic has found his form. And look, he was the top goal scorer in the EPL last year for Fulham. I think he bagged 11 goals last year. That didn't save him, but now we're in the Championship, and I think he could potentially double that goal amount. Lovely back header at the post in the last game. Hudder's fired back quite quick, but then straight away again, Cavallero. Did you see the goal from Cavallero? Jesus,
yeah,
the curl on that strike.
I did. And listen, Fulham are my futures in this league, and for 2 of the reasons that you've just mentioned. I think Mitrovic will be top scorer, or if not top scorer, he'll definitely be in the top 2 or 3. I think they've got the quality. The big thing I would say about them is they've got to get their urgency up and understand the battle that they're going to have week in, week out in the Championship. You get more time on the ball in the Premiership. They come up against a Millwall side who are all heart and all organisation. You put them in behind the 8 ball, you get ahead early, and then they have to change their tact. So for me, I expect Fulham to win this game, but just winning the game, you're not going to get any value. So where have you found value, Dave?
No, you're exactly right, Flash. Picking Fulham at home, you're probably not going to find much value all season if their form stays up. They can't afford to drop games to teams like Millwall at home. I just can't see them losing this. But with the value, we need to search other markets. And one of my favourite markets, and I think one of Odds Market's Football Capper's favourite markets, is picking the win and then combine that with the total goals. You can get Fulham to win under 4.5 goals. I don't expect a hammering. It's a London derby. It's probably going to be tight. I predict maybe 2-1, 2-0 Fulham. So Fulham to win and under 4.5 goals at 2.50 with Betway or Coral holds incredible value in my opinion. 2.50 plus 150 for the Americans. Yeah, Betway or Coral, you can get that price. I'm not sure if it will still be there now, but that's what I took yesterday.
No, it's not still there. It is absolutely been smashed. And that's probably because people have been reading your article at oddsmarket.com. You get the jump on these things if you go to the website. Have a look at these, the writers. They do their homework, they put it up early, and you can jump on these prices. I've found 2 is the best for Fulham and under 4.5 at home to Millwall. So we've penciled that one in. We got the value. Move on to your next game then, Dave.
Yeah, the next game, we don't have to discuss this next game as much because I'm not interested in a side whatsoever. But we'll take a look at West Brom versus Reading. West Brom, they hammered Luton. They earned everything on the pitch that day. They made Luton look like fish out of water. Luton are looking quite bad right now. So that's one of my teams I'm looking at to fade quite often if they keep up this poor form. When I talk
about West Brom games, Dave, I always think the first thing you do is you start on both teams to score. I mean, we know that Reading have got the young boy Puskas who's come in with a bang. And by the way, what a talent he looks like. He reminds me of Matej Vedra, who about 7 or 8 years ago burst on the scene with Watford. But West Brom score goals. They score goals home or away. But the one thing they've not sorted out is that defence. So can we have both teams to score in this game?
You sure can, buddy. And the price, I'm not sure what the price is at now. I managed to squeak a 1.75 because the bookies know what's going to happen. Both teams are going to probably find the net. And Boyle Sports gave me 1.75. I'm not sure what other books are offering right now, but I'm guessing that's probably dropped 10 points, 1.65 or 1.60 around that price.
And that's your play. Both teams to score, leave it at that.
Yeah, both teams are going to score. Look, 6 out of 7 West Brom fixtures have seen both teams landing a goal and putting themselves on the score sheet. So both sides have got the firepower. Like you mentioned, Puskas, he had Reading into the half, winning 2-0 at the weekend. So the win against the 3-0 beating over Cardiff just came easy. Neither team is shy in front of goal. It has to be both teams to score here, Flash, for me.
Okay, why don't we flick on? What about Leeds and Brentford? Because last year you didn't oppose Brentford at home and you didn't oppose Brentford away. Now all of a sudden, Brentford, they're struggling and Leeds have got off to a really, really good start. So is it one-way traffic, Leeds versus Brentford?
Yeah, look, much like Fulham, Leeds are tipped by the bookmaker to be a potential. Well, they are the favourite to win the league this season. And they're showing that they can do that so far. They wiped the floor with Wigan. Unfortunately for Wigan, they were down to 10 men. So, that's not great news when you have to face an attacking Leeds side. Bamford, bang, 2 goals. And to be fair, even though Bamford got the goals, the goalkeeper should have been man of the match for that one because he was all over the place. Keeping Leeds on the clean sheet for that one. Brentford, they they come away with a draw against Hull at home, and now they're facing Leeds at Ellen Road. It's not looking good for them, to be honest. I'm not seeing any problems they're going to cause Leeds. But much like Fulham, it's we have to look for a value play, because you're not going to get you're getting nothing on Leeds at home. So Leeds United to win and over 1.5 goals, I got for just under evens, 1.91, minus 110 on the American, and 10-11 for the fractional price. I think that's the only value that I can find on Leeds right now. I love that play. Probably my favourite play.
And you've got to go against the Brentford side who have basically lost their top scorer, who ends up going to Brighton. You've got Sawyer, who leaves as well, who was like a mainstay of creating their opportunities. So, I mean, you look at it, and Leeds and over 1.5 at 1.91, it looks like an absolute knocker. What about the side that's probably disappointed most so far? You mentioned that it went to Reading and got beat at the weekend. Cardiff at home to, well, we called them Huddersfield nil last year. They just don't want to put bodies in the box. So, do you see Cardiff beating Huddersfield?
It's a tough one, you know. It's rough. Huddersfield have got to pull some things together soon. You know, they just fired their manager. Maybe that will be what they need to, you know, finally break through.
Would you have fired him, Dave, after 3 games?
I'd have fired him in the summer flash, to be honest. It's way too late to be, you know, making these decisions at the start of the season. They could have had that summer to build off of what they had, rather than waiting until the season started. Now you're behind. Everybody is on their way and doing what they need to do, whilst you're pissing around with management still.
So the appointment was wrong in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's as important. I've always said, obviously, my whole background is in recruitment, scouting, and that doesn't just go on players. That you bring the right people into the football club at any level, they've got to go and they've got to achieve. Now, you go and bring a manager in, the person who recruited that man has got to look at himself and go, I made the wrong decision. This is the only place in the world where they make wrong decision after wrong decision and no heads roll. And yet, it's the most important position at a football club. You've got to give the manager and the other players tools and help to go and do the job. Cardiff, Huddersfield, how are we going to find an angle then, Dave?
Both teams coming off a beating, really. Reading slapsticking Cardiff at the weekend. And, you know, obviously Huddersfield had the tougher task in Fulham. But, you know, a 1-1 draw to QPR is not something to be proud about either. You know, it's a real rough one. Both teams are bad. Maybe it's an underplay. I just don't like this game at all, Flash. I just have to stay away from these type of fixtures until I can see what these teams are going to give us for the rest of the season. We're 3 games deep. It's too hard to tell. It's really too hard to tell.
Listen, I totally agree, because I say every year that you won't see me in the Championship, League 1 or League 2, until after the 4th game. So we've done a little bit of Championship. Let me try and entice you into League 1, eh? League 1, there's a few sides that have got off to good starts. Anything take your fancy?
Do you know what? League 1 is real interesting right now, because we have a few teams who haven't even conceded goals. So to see my City take the first 3 games and not concede a goal has really surprised me. We are in the shit right now. We don't have a ground. Fans and only the diehard fans are traveling to Birmingham to support our, home games. But we're doing well. We're doing really well. I'm surprised.
Portsmouth away, though, that's a big ask, isn't it?
Say again, buddy.
Portsmouth away, big ask.
Wow, Portsmouth's form's a bit. I think they've won 1, drawn 1, lost 1 so far. They're a bit all over the place. And as my team has that confidence behind them, and they're now playing away, so obviously we're going to get some great prices. I didn't add this play in my article, but I was looking at it today and I thought, how could I not? You can get Coventry plus a goal at evens today. I can't remember which bookie it was with. But you can get Coventry for +1 at evens. To me, that's a no-brainer. We haven't even conceded a goal, Flash.
So that's basically Coventry double chance, then, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can take a draw or we can sneak a win. I love it. +1 for evens, and we haven't even conceded a goal yet. We're playing well. I was surprised, really surprised. If I walk out my house now, Flash, and I put my camera on for you, you'll see banners saying Sisu out on the block of flats around me. People are real passionate about our team. So I hope we can do something this season, because if we can, the support is unreal in this city and would be a great championship team again. I'm telling you that for nothing.
Them banners must be moth-eaten. I remember seeing Sisu out about 8 years ago.
Oh, mate, them banners, the banners now, they've got holes in them, and you know they've took all types of weather. It's been years, buddy. It's a joke. We never should have left Highfield Road. At the end of the day, demolishing that ground. That ground was in the heart of our city. It was round the corner from my old man's house. It was a beautiful thing, walking to the game, walking through the busy centre, everybody walking together to the ground. There was nothing. There was no reason to sell that, Flash. No reason at all. We were a declining team going into a huge ground. Made no sense. Made no sense whatsoever.
Okay, let's get you off this. Let's get you off this
now.
Coventry train, eh? Otherwise, we're going a bit like political, and you're going to go all teary-eyed on me. What about Blackpool?
Yeah.
What about Blackpool? They've started off quite well against the Gillingham side. You'd never know what you're going to get.
One of the best games from the weekend in League One was Blackpool versus Oxford. Blackpool have been doing well. They've been playing great. And Oxford held their own. They really did hold their own. And if it wasn't for a penalty, they would have took a draw away from Blackpool. But Gondawia, he was top goal scorer, and now he's Blackpool's top man. He's got 3 goals already. I can see him getting back on that score sheet tonight. And I like Blackpool. It's funny actually, because Oxford are coming off the loss, but I love them today because you can get Oxford. You can get Oxford for 2.40, I think, or 2.30 as a straight win at home. I love that. And then at the same time, Blackpool are playing away, and I do like them to continue this winning streak. But you know, just to play it safe, you can get the draw no bet for just under evens as well at 1.90.
Okay, well, whenever we talk about the lower leagues, and you can talk to 20 or 30 people, 28, 29 of them will all want to be talking about Lincoln. Do you want to talk about Lincoln?
Yeah, Lincoln away to MK Dons once again. Lincoln joined Coventry in one of the teams that haven't even conceded a goal. And whilst I was on the draw no bet market looking at Blackpool, I thought Lincoln away, they're gonna hold a similar price, and to my surprise, they held a better price at 1.96. So we're right just under evens on a chance of a draw. On the chance that we can get that away win, but if we fail and it's a draw, we get our money back, which I think is great on a team which is just steaming through right now. They're playing great football. It's not like lower league football that they're playing. They're getting their goal and then they're keeping it tight and they're defending well, and it's 1 or 2-0 wins that Lincoln are seeing. It's beautiful football for a team in League One, in my opinion, Flash.
Okay, before we say adios, amigo, give us your best bet in League One and your best play in the Championship, please, Dave.
Oh, one that I actually didn't mention, and I would say Leeds and the over 1.5, but I think people might struggle to get that price now at 1.91. So I'll say Charlton versus Nottingham Forest, both teams to score at 1.80 is my favourite bet in the Championship. Both teams are putting goals away. Forest are looking real impressive to me, and I can just see both of them guys getting on the score sheet. And at 1.80, I thought that was a great price. You can get that at Coral. For English League One, my best bet, I'll give one that isn't in my article. I'll say Coventry +1, and you can get that, I believe, at just under evens, directly under.
Top man, Dave. Love your work. Keep up the UFC. Remember to go and watch, have a look at all at DaveBets articles on oddsmarket.com. And I will see you soon, Dave.